you know that you can earn millions from dairy farming on a small, well-planned piece of land? Since 2019, Muzoora Moses Tumuhairwe, founder of Clergy MMT Dairy Farm Limited in Magwa, Budo, Wakiso District, has proven it. What started with just 4 cows for family milk has grown into over 150 cows, producing about 500 liters of milk daily to meet rising demand.
This farm is called the Clergy MMT Dairy Farm Limited. So I got that name because of the history of my parents. Because my father happens to be a clergyman. He's a Reverend Canon, and all his projects are named Clergy. But me, I also added mine as Clergy MMT. This is called Clergy Muzoora Moses Tumuhairwe Dairy Farm Limited. So the name, I got it because of my father's background. I started this farm in 2019, but I started with only 4 cows. In section A, I started with when I was starting this farm. The 4 animals, the cows I was telling you, is the bull, I call it Rosie. I started with this one for 7 years, and I mean 6 years, I'm with it here. And most of these black cows you see, that's the father. Now, 2, this is also one of the oldest cows I started with. I started this farm with an intention of having milk for my family, only that. But in the process, I was inspired by the market, the demand market of milk in this area. Because I moved around, there was no any other farm, so I decided to start this farm to have 1 for my home consumption, but 2, when the market became available, I again went ahead to add on more cows, and here we are now. This group is called the yearling group because most of them are of 1 year, and we call it the yearling group. And they are, you have seen them when we entered, they are coming to us because they know whoever enters here is bringing something for them because their trough is almost dry. There's no food. So they're expecting anything from us now. So some of these ones, they're still in bottle feeding. Some of them. Others, majority are done. And they're young. So I cannot mix them with, for example, there are some bulls there. I can't mix them with those old ones. But those old ones will disturb them so much. So they first get older here, and I transfer them to their section. But number 2, they also basically feed on proteins. Because remember, they're also important for them, the proteins. We feed them on the concentrates as well. We also feed them with the sugar napier. So this is brown cheese. It's also one of the high milkers I have here. It gives me 20, 19 liters. Yes, in a day. And the milk these cows give from this section is not as the milk I get from the other section is section B. This one, the high one, the highest give me 15, 17 liters a day, which is very small. So this section accommodates about to, as of now, it's about to 35, 40 cows. This one, yes. But if planned well, it can even accommodate 80 to 90. The whole section, yes. But as of now, I have 40 cows. That is a collecting center. When they are milking, there is someone to receive milk here. There is another person who is supposed to supply people who stand there and get milk. So you see few cans here, but most of the cans are outside in the field. I have the American Holstein Friesians, like those ones. You can see the size and the height. I also have the South African cows or northern cows. These are short cows also, but all of them are Frisian. I also have one type of Ankara cow, and you'll see it as well. I just brought it here to have a sample if it can also perform like the Frisians are doing. So basically I have two types. The farm is standing on just half an acre where the farm is. The other extension is for farming, for planting those cow feeds. Huh? And this is a spraying race point. This is local, very local, it's local. But at one point we shall have a spray race here because it has been reserved for it. This way we dump or put cow dung every day, they clean the claro. And this cow dung is also helps contributes a lot to the family because every truck they come and buy from us. Okay, so it's also important for the farm. When I was starting this farm, as I told you, I did it from my own knowledge. So I started with this simple structure. But if I had visited more organized farms, I would have copied the way I'm seeing them doing now. Because there are these modern structures. However, those modern structures are expensive. You may have a very developed structure, beautiful, more than this one, but what comes out from it is not pleasant. So this is because basically these are local trees we normally use to build this structure with the iron sheets, and they are just simple. As of now, I get 450 daily, but I used to have 500 liters. But because some dry up.
At Clergy MMT Dairy Farm Limited, animals are reared under a zero-grazing system where cattle are kept in a confined shelter and all their feed and water are brought to them. Although this cut and carry method requires higher labor and capital investment, we asked Muzoora why he chose to adopt it.
Now, zero-grazing is a very tricky venture to be in. But as you have seen where I stay now, it's a small space where you cannot have free range. So I had to put a zero-grazing because I could not access where I can have a big land. I can put these cows outside to graze freely. But I have got some acres nearby the farm, 4 acres now, where I plant different types of feeds.
Feeding dairy cows requires quality forage like corn silage or super napier grass, plus dairy meal, clean water and minerals. At Clergy MMT Dairy Farm in Magwa, Budo, each cow's diet is tailored to its needs and most forage is grown on the farm to cut feeding costs.
The pachong, after 6 weeks, we cut it. We give it the animals. Even after 6 weeks, for it is ready. That's sugar graze. Muemba. Sugar graze. Sugar graze is also important. When you have this sugar graze, there's no need for you to buy Vikanja again from Zara. No, this one works exactly like this one does. I also do Kayandra. Is also behind that. So these different types of feeds are within those 4 acres I've told you. Yes.
Effective feed storage requires proper bins and silos protection from moisture and heat and good inventory management. Regular checks, keeping head dry and sealing silage tightly help maintain feed quality.
I give them silage. Silage is made up of, it's got from maize. 2, I give them dry matter. The dry matter is the hay. And the hay, as I'm going to show you, is cut into small pieces. I dip into the moras because remember they are very dry. So I'm trying to weaken them so that it can be easier for the cows to eat them. But I also give them sugar glaze. I also cut it. After cutting it, I also pack it in the bags. Then I keep it. Then I give them also. But I also give them kayandra. The kayandra, you will see it. They mix up with the silage, and these are body building foods, basically proteins. Now, the lactating cows, like these ones, I give them much of proteins. One, I give them concentrates. Concentrates, a mixture of different minerals. The soya, the bland, maize bland, sorghum, it's sort of also. So I mix up all of those. This applies to the other section. That's section A also. I give them the same feeding. However, expectant mothers like this one, like these ones, I limit giving them too much of proteins because they can get difficulties in giving birth. So I limit them. Two, I have heifers, that's the heifers. Those heifers, I give them much of bodybuilding food also, so that they can grow faster, and by the time they are in the production, they can give too much of milk, because I would have prepared it them in time. I also have the young ones, the heifer, the young ones. Those ones I give them broken maize strictly. Broken maize strictly. The same applies to the young bulls. These cows of mine, you may look at them and say they are on a free range farm. But the food I give them, however much I give a small quantity, but they are very much important in their bodies. I do feeding in 2 phases. In the morning, after milking, morning milking starts from 5 to 7:30. Then immediately after that, they start supplying or giving them food, silage. So the silage starts feeding from 8:30 onwards up to 2 o'clock when they start milking them for the second time. Then from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, then they rest. Then after resting, we again resume feeding them at exactly 5 o'clock in the evening till morning. Sunflower, sulfate salt, lime, all these. So these ones are important for a cow. So, and you see they like it so much. When you mix it with the silage, immediately they come and start eating. Yes. This is kajandra. Basically, these are proteins. And it's very good because these cows, they need to go outside to access green matter. So what I do, I bring this kajandra and give them so that they can have protein in their bodies. This silage, made out of maize. We cut, after cutting it, pack it in the sacks, and after we keep them for some days so that they can be compact. Then this silage, we mix with kanja, the breweries, waste products, together with these, the supplements I show you, but also with this kajandra. There is also napier, because it's sagazi. Yes, napier. It's also very good for proteins. The water is there. It must be available 24 hours.
The water?
Water. Because in these concentrates I showed you, there is an element of salt. Okay? So it will feel like it wants to take water every time. This is pak chong. See how they are fighting? Tahari. This is pak chong. They cut into 2 small pieces for them to get with their tongue. But also I have machine there. I can also put in the machine for them for the machine to crush. These are one of the high milkers. This one gives me 40 liters a day after giving birth. This is the same. This is a food store. It has all the foodstuffs that I've told you. So this is the dry matter. Huh? This also is hay. And afterward, the people will come and cut it. Me, I do not make bed because I'm supposed to make them in beds. In beds. But that's done by the machine. By the machine, I don't have it. So what I do, they bring it here. There are different types of dry what they bring, including this one. Then they cut it. After cutting it, there's a drum there. Yes. They put it there. They put molasses and water and cover it up tomorrow morning. So that tomorrow morning it will have good scent. The scent will be very good and it will be soft. It will be easy for the cow to take and eat and chew. So this is hay now. Now this is silage. This one is silage. Now you can see now, you see the human pickup we are talking about. They do the way they want. Because this bag is supposed to be covered altogether. So there is no any air entering, because the moment it enters, it will rot. And when it rots, and you give the cow they eat, the cow will have infection in the stomach. You only have issues with it. So these are bags. After dropping them there with that small machine, although it's a rock machine, it's not the machine I want, they bring a modern one. After chopping, you pack here in the bags and cover them. These are brewery rests. So these are from brewery Zero-Grazing. I buy in tons, they bring them here. I give cows, whenever they are going to milk, they give them. When they are milking them, they are busy eating them. And this one helps me to increase on the milk production in cows. So all these buckets are full of the pekanja. This maize broken maize. Okay? Remember I told you this one is for the young ones. The calves, the young ones was up there. Yes, it's also important for them because it helps them to grow very fast. And these are concentrates for the high milkers. There are section B and section C. So we apply in the silage so that it can also be part of the silage. It's also important for them.
Unlike most farmers who use artificial insemination, Clergy MM Dairy Farm relies on importing superior bulls mainly from Kenya. Muzoora says he switched after artificial insemination failed to give the desired results.
When the number of cows started growing in number, I started using AI, artificial insemination, but it didn't work very well for me. I was disappointed because you could inseminate about 10 of them and one or none could conceive. So what I did, I went to Kenya and bought a Frisian bull. Now, the bull I was telling you I got from Kenya recent, it's there. It's called Ruhuga. It's here. You can come, doctor, push it this side. But here. It's a new breed now. I got it. After the old one, you won't see it that side, rosy. You won't see it. So this is the current bull I have now. Yes, the big man now. However, it's overstretched, it's overused because it has to serve those two sections. This section and the other section, and even this section, which is a bit hard for it. Okay? So, but I have a new one. You see the other one? The one where I didn't show it to you. That one, the young one, it's also a new one. So after this one, I'll apply the other one. Yes. I started with that one. So basically I use bulls here. Then after 1 year, I change that bull and I bring another advanced bull. Like this section here you are seeing here now. This is a Kenyan breed. There are no Ugandans here. I'm not saying we don't have such in Uganda, but I'm saying these ones were imported from Kenya and they're here. And they're high milking cows. Like this one now can give me 35 liters. those are American hate cows. They can give me 35 to 40 liters a day because I milk this group I milk 3 times: morning, afternoon, and evening. Remember, I'm in a city center almost, so I'm basically making market. I'm making business here, so I cannot keep a low milking cow and I ignore improving on the to high milk cows.
He also elaborated on the management and special care provided to lactating cows at the farm, ensuring optimal milk production and animal welfare.
A lactating cow, as I told you, I must feed it very well. There is a product here we use that stimulates a cow to give more milk. These brewery wastes, they call them Ebikanja. Those ones, when I have those Ebikanja, they're very much important in increasing the volume of milk in the cows. So these lactating cows, remember I told you I give them concentrates. Those concentrates contain all types of nutrients. So all those will help the lactating cows to give you what you really want. 2, these lactating cows are supposed, ideally all of them, they're supposed to have mats where they can be and rest. But if you do not have mats, you can use a sawdust, like those ones there, the sawdust. These ones they make from the woods and plywoods. So I power them on the floor and they come and rest. So they cannot have any impact of the floor because this is basically a cemented area.
Skilled workers are vital in dairy farming, boosting productivity and growth. At Clergy Dairy Farm in Budo, about 45 employees help run daily operations.
Remember, I also employ about close to 45 people. Locally here, I have 25. Then outside, if I'm cutting silage, I'm looking for silage, for maize to buy and cut. I also have another group there. So there are 45 people. So that's a bit expensive. It's challenging. Human capital, you know, the person you're working with has the same senses that I have. Some are stubborn, of course, but have tried to minimize indiscipline, minimize not being responsible at this farm. But they are always very funny everywhere. And the only advantage I have got is that even when this farm is here and it's mine, but I work hand in hand with the security. So the security around this area is nearby me. It has also helped me so much. Yes, and most workers here are known. I know where they're coming from.
The rising demand for milk has greatly motivated Muzoora to expand his herd. What started as a small operation continues to grow, and he now envisions increasing production capacity to thousands of liters of milk per day.
It's a bit challenging because even I cannot satisfy the market around. So clients come here at the farm, pick milk for themselves. And the majority of them come here. They come and pick. There's a serving center there, you will see it. The remaining milk, I'm not saying it's remaining because they can also consume the whole milk. But there are other people who prefer to be served. So you have my boys here who move around supplying milk to families. There are those ones also with the serving centers in towns, the dairies in towns, small dairies. They also come and pick here with the border borders and take the milk. So basically, I do not have any milk remaining here, and I cannot even satisfy this surrounding area with my farm milk here. It's not even enough. I still need more. So the challenge I have, I need like 50 acres where I can plant enough food stuff for these cows. If you have like 50 acres of land and you plant variety of these feeds, you are able to sustain them here.
Muzoora has achieved remarkable success since establishing the farm, gaining valuable experience, ensuring education for his children, and expanding his exposure and network within the dairy industry.
In these 6 years, close 7, I have moved around. For example, Kampala, I have moved to Wakiso, people with farms. I have picked a lot of experience from those people, the way they are handling their farms. Working with people, because these clients are our bosses. I have got farm office, you have seen it. I have achieved by employing people within this area, it's also an achievement on my side. I have also earned money from these cows, which have also helped to develop other projects outside this farm. But I also managed to pay my school fees school fees for my kids, and my kids can also be able to have fresh and clean milk. It's also an achievement for myself. Some of these bulls are of good quality, so if other farmers come and buy them, actually that's the big market I have here. They come and buy these bulls and take them to build their own farms. So these bulls are also important. They also help me to develop this farm. I don't entirely depend on milk. I also depend on these bulls. Also, the old cows, those ones that have stayed here and they are old, I also dispose of. And that man also can also pay to develop the farm, either by adding new cows or pay their workers or do my other things I'm doing outside here.
Dairy farmers like Muzoora face many challenges, including high costs, diseases, poor road network, and struggle with expensive feed, climate change, and limited access to finance and modern technology.
The transportation, you have seen this farm does not have trucks, and I need trucks here. The trucks are used as small trucks. They will not have help. So if I have a big truck, like 2 or 3, then the cost on transportation will also come down. So those 2 factors are making me, making this farm to be expensive. But nevertheless, the money I get from these cows help me so much in again looking after them. As these lactating cows, because they are high milkers, they have a problem of especially if you do not have good hygiene. There is what you call metastasis. Metastasis affected these cows too much. So what I do, in the process of feeding them, immediately after milking them, then they give them food. So in that process, when they're eating, the teeth close. When the teeth close, then the infection will be unable to affect these cows. Because now the major problem I have here is the metastasis. And at the moment one cow has is suffering from that metastasis, it can spread in the whole of this client you lose the farm. You can see the other, that side is affected. It has a very serious metastasis. Yeah, that one. One, swelling of the udder, blockage of the teeth, but also the teeth can also be, when you're milking them, they can bring out something like pus. The pus. Yes, those are signs really.
Starting a dairy farm requires a solid business plan, funding, a good location, and market knowledge. Starting small helps gain experience, and farmers must plan for labor, equipment, and ongoing costs.
They should avoid starting with expensive structures. Because it's not important really. It's not important. People have got metallic poles for the structure. People have got tiled floor, and all those are expensive. So if you are a starter and you start with that one, I don't know where you will end to. 2, if you are start with few cows, but with the cow that will give you high milk. That has affected me greatly. That's why I keep changing now. I started with cows with low milk now, but I keep upgrading. If I started with high milking cows, I would be very far. Avoid the unnecessary, still expensive things. Hiring experts immediately you are starting. Yes, you can go and in workshops to study or visit farms, yes, like this one, but you need to go and hire the expert. No, that one will be expensive for nothing. Before you start a farm, make sure you have land for feeds, because it has also affected me. I started here with a small space. Later on I bought the 4 acres I told you, but before buying them, I was busy buying silage from other people. And that's not cost effective. It's very risky. So please, before you start, make sure you have where you can plant maize and the rest of the fields. And also you are able to have access of water. Because me, I'm lucky here. There's plenty of water here. In mine, I use underground water. I have a pump. It pumps in the tank and supply the whole of this farm is supplied with water. So, 1, you must have land for feeds. 2, accessibility for water. 3, start with high milkers. But of course, 4, means of transport, at least 1 truck. And 5, avoid expensive things, items, including the experts and the rest of the farm. It's just believe in yourself as a starter, because there is nothing that's not possible. Everything here on earth is possible as long as you put energy on it. 2, make sure you have time for your farm. Make sure you have time for your farm. Because if you start a farm like this one, and again you not attend to this farm, then you will have issues with the farm. So always give time to your farm, monitor everything that happens here, monitor the production, and observe the health of each cow here.
Looking ahead, Muzoora is optimistic about expanding Clergy MMT Dairy Farm Limited into a large-scale operation capable of producing thousands of liters of milk daily, further strengthening its contribution to Uganda's dairy sector.
Where this farm is not where it's supposed to be. I'm putting another structure there. I'm also going to start constructing another one up there. The plan for me is to have about 400 cows here. And my plan I have is to have 2,000 liters produced in this farm. And I know it's very possible. Remember, I started with 4 cows, giving me about 20 liters. That was really strange. Now, from 20 liters to 500 liters, that's an achievement. But still I'm saying the 500 liters is still very low for me. I need more than 2,000 and above. I also needed to have cottages, small cottages, where I can make yogurt, packed yogurt for myself, packed milk, ghee, and I know it's very possible. My plan is also to have expansion of this farm, but well knowing that I will be available with the 50 acres and the cars transport the silage and the rest of the feeds.
Dairy farming is a key sector that can greatly improve rural livelihoods and food security when managed well. Success relies on good animal care, feeding and management. Though it requires significant investment and planning, dairy farming is a rewarding venture with strong potential for long-term growth and sustainability.